to prepare you into what's coming into it. So you wait for the bus does not wait for you. We've talked about it because it takes a while for this bus as he comes in, and he may have a small window to pick up the whole group. If you are not there, you have to have your own transportation. And trust me, to go into Mina for the first time, you need to go with the group, at least to know where is your tent. The second time, maybe you'd be able to go, but the first time you need to identify your tents. Which area are you into it? Be patient and do not ask many questions. Why the bus is not here? What are we waiting for? We've been waiting for all of this time. Where is my bag? What happened to my room? Where is my roommate? How come our lunch did not have salad in the buffet? How come the chicken was too stale? I mean, get over it, please. Grow up. You did not like the food, go and buy you some sandwich from outside. Get over it. You did not like the towel, go and buy you some towels. Work around it. Work around it, okay? So grow up, please, and be a responsible person, responsible for your own self. Remember, waiting for the mean of transportation is part of ibadah. If you are sitting and waiting for the bus to put you in Mina, and you're sitting in your place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would designate an angel. Allahumma ghfir lahu, Allahumma arhamhu. Oh Allah, forgive him. Oh Allah, have mercy on him. As you're waiting for ibadah, Allah designate an angel to do what? Because he's sitting and remembering Allah. If he's always engaging, brother, where is my bus? Brother, you're losing your deed. Right? You cannot say, why am I stuck with this brother? Right? Why am I stuck with him? Okay. I am stuck with him, ya akhi. What are we waiting here? Man, the bus is gone.
Allahumma ajirna min an-nar.
Allahumma ajirna min an-nar. And you are, subhanallah, listen, look at this hadith. You will get into a situation where we are walking into the stoning areas, right? Or walking around the haram. And people are almost next to each other, sweating and stuck to each other. And subhanallah, you remember these things. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing us. On Yawm al-Mahshar, when we are raised from the graves, people would be what? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ وَبَرَزُوا لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ. This whole earth will be changed. And a new plateau where everything is level. And there would be a new sun other than the sun, because this sun will be destroyed. It will come so close, people will be sweating according to their deeds. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said some of them will be sweat to his ankle bone, some of them to their knees, some of them to their waist, some of them to their chest, some of them will be above their heads. يَلْجِمُهُ إِلْجَامًا. All depending on their deeds. So you remember these things. We are getting close to each other and we are sweating. There are 7 categories of people that Allah shades when there is no shade except the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَذَكَرَ مِنْهُمْ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned رَجُلَانْ تَعَارَفَا فِي اللَّهِ وَاخْتَلَفَا عَلَيْهِ. 2 people basically have met each other. Why am I stuck with him? Maybe to know him better and love him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He would be reminded me of good things and I would remind him of good things. So the shade would be provided for people who knew each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They came brothers in Islam. I call it the brother of Hajj, the brother of ta'at, the brother of ibadah, or the sisterhood of ibadah, if you would. So Allah will shade both of us because we have what? Engaged in this ibadah, this is closeness to Allah. And we would, both of us, we will be provided with what? With a shade from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we met together for the sake of Allah and we got separated by death or maybe lived into different areas. So all of these things need to come into your thoughts. As you go around and you're sweating with each other, we will come into face with something a whole lot more drastic, or the whole lot more testing, if you would. And all of these things needs to come into your, as you do this ibadah, you get into these humble things. So get engaged. Allah got me stuck with him for a purpose. Why? Only Allah knows. Why Allah left Ibrahim and told him to leave his wife in the middle of nowhere? Are you nuts? Why? Is there an objective? Yes. Was there an objective for Ibrahim to leave his wife Hajar in Mecca? Look at us, all of us are doing Hajj because he left his spouse there. There is an objective for me and him got stuck, sweating and going around, and the bus left us for one reason or another. You had the diarrhea and I had constipation. We're stuck, man. We were in the bathroom, both of us. So may Allah help us. We got to find a road now to going back. So we reminded each other we are patient and we're trying to find our way into it. May Allah reward you.
Inshallah.
Allahumma ameen. So all of these really need to come into your mind, inshallah ta'ala, as you do these things. Be generous. There are people who will be helping you out, whether it's the bus drivers, whether the cleaners, whether others. Most of your time you will spend where? Waiting. Don't say, what is next, Brother Muammar? Brother Hassan, where are we going next? I mean, there's no need for it. You always pull your Quran, you start reading your Quran, until Brother Hassan tells you, okay, brothers, we're going to leave at 11 o'clock. Brother, it is 11:35. Where is the bus, Brother Hassan? Allah knows. I mean, he will tell you, inshallah ta'ala, when he knows, inshallah. So always be ready, be prepared. If it's 11, 13 minutes, do whatever it means. I slept, these shoes were my pillows. An extra ihram was my blanket. I slept on the sidewalk. The sidewalk was my pillow at one time. Rocks were my pillows. So be acclimated, be getting used to it. You are spending this time for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is temporary. You're going to go back to your home, right? And inshallah ta'ala, and what you're getting out of it is the good deeds, subhanallah. And the day of judgment, it's going to be the other way around, really. So in this life, whatever you earn, Allah, even if you spend, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, يعني لا إله إلا الله, يعني Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala مثقال ذرة خير يره, يعني ومثقال ذرة شر يره. It is an iota of the smallest organism Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold you accountable for. If it is good, He will hold you responsible for it. And if it is bad, if it is good, He will reward you for it. And if it is an iota of a small organism, He will hold you responsible for. On the day of judgment, if you brought the whole earth gold, you could not ransom yourself out of it. In this life, the smallest thing counts. In the hereafter, you could not do anything about it. Your wife will run away from you. Your sons and daughters will run away from you. Says, son, I've raised you from childhood. I'm looking for one hasana to enter paradise. He said, I don't know. I don't know about me. So you have to earn it here. Be patient and hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for this, inshallah ta'ala. So always excuse others and so on. I'm not going to make a break here because I don't have time. We are past it. So this is the picture of Mina. These are the Jamarat area, if you would. This is a Jamra al-Sughra, the closest one, if you would. This is al-Wusta, and this is Jamrat al-Aqaba. These are all mountainous area. This is pretty much the American section, which is part of the Turkish section, if you would. So depending into which area you're in. If you are in the American section, you will probably go through different tunnels, a couple of tunnels before you get into the Haram, before you go into the stoning area. Masjid al-Khif or Masjid al-Khayf is a very designated landmark that you'd be able to identify that you are close to the Jamarat area. So if you are in the Arab section, which would be here, that is a very designated landmark. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that there are 40 messengers and prophets prayed in this specific spot. There are only 25 mentioned in the Quran. Okay, so, and again, these are the borders of Mina. On the 12th, after Maghrib, you need to finish stoning all three, and you get out of it before the call for Maghrib prayer, and you'll hear the call of Maghrib prayer if you would, if you are in Masjid al-Khif. The Arab section is here. This is where Adam stays, so he basically pays a prime to get closer to the stoning area, so they're very close to the stoning area. The American section is part of the Turkish section, which is back here. This is where Western Europe and the United States are here. This is basically the photo of Masjid al-Khif. The stoning area is about here. It is very designated minarets. So if you're taking a ride on your own or with your bus, once you see these minarets, if you would know that you are close to the stoning area itself. And these are the posts when you'd be able to tell that this is the end of Mina. I need to exit, I need to pass this area before the call for Maghrib prayer in order to do hastening Hajj. When you are in state of Ihram, of course we said you are taking a shower, you're putting your Ihram, you're putting your desitin and sandals and belt desitin between your legs. It's very important. You have to have your card identification, and they may give you a bracelet. The bracelet has like a barcode now on it. It is sophisticated, so that's something. It's very essential for you to go into your Mina tent. So they will give it to you, Brother Hassan or the Adam Travel, or maybe Brother Muammar. You have your packable backpack, the one that we're talking about. You have your Ziplocs, your earplugs, your AirPods, medications, sinus congestion, desitin. Dua book is very important because on the 8th you will not be able to go back to where? To your tents. So you have this dua sheets that I've given you. May have 2 or 3 copies of it. Once may deteriorate in Mina, but you definitely, the most important thing that you do what? That you have your dua pamphlets and booklets with you in Arafah. Very important one, right? You have a small Quran. You may be having a foldable, reusable canteen bottle, the one that we've talked about, the green one. You may have an umbrella that you could buy from over there to protect you from the sun at the different areas. Mina, it is very important to know your location, the roads, vendors. Spend at least 30 minutes, if not an hour, to know the area inside and out. Very important. You know the signs, the directions. Space in the tent is very small. It's as we said, it is about 6 feet by 2.5. You will be facing some new people, and you will have, as we said,